Well, hello there. This is Tim from Project Reclamation. Welcome back to another episode. We're so happy that you came back. We have an amazing episode for you today. Or, as some may say, we got a damn good show for you today. So, first of all, got to pay the bills. Go check out podbelly.com, because Podbelly is our podcast network that we are so lucky and happy to be a part of. Podbelly.com has a bunch of stuff. If you want to start a podcast, there's a bunch of things on there to help you start a podcast. Or if you're just looking for a new podcast, we have a ton of podcasts on our network that you can find, I'm sure, something that you love. Hopefully not more than ours, but maybe. Who knows? You know what? I'm willing to take that gamble, because if you like one of those better than ours, awesome. Because all the podcasts on podbelly.com are so awesome. I'd like to give a shout out to ElYucateco.com. El Yucateco, our number one and main sponsor. El Yucateco hot sauce. They make the most amazing hot sauce ever. As you know, if you listen to the show, me, Brett, lots of us, JB, we're all connoisseurs of hot sauce. We have lots of hot sauces. We use lots of hot sauces. We worship at the altar of Sean Evans and Hot Ones, and we use all things hot sauce. That being said, El Yucateco has a ton of different versions, and there is for sure one for you. And as many hot sauces as I own, which is probably, I don't know, 30, 40, honestly, not even embellishing. El Yucateco is all, one of their flavors is always my go-to. They have, if you don't like hot, they have jalapeno. They have chipotle. Chipotle is like a fun, spicy barbecue sauce. If you love pain and heat, but also flavor, because they are the king of flavor, try Triple X. They have a bunch of stuff in between. If you like smoky, try the black. If you like teriyaki, Hawaiian, Caribbean, try the Caribbean. If you like standard, I only like the basics. I'm a basic person. I don't like to, go outside the box. Then they got the red and the green. Those are their original flavors. So many different El Yucateco hot sauces. Go check it out. Pour it on literally everything, or just drink it straight out of the bottle. Whatever works for you. That being said, here we go. Enjoy the show.
Proud members of the Podbelly Podcast Network.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Project Reclamation. You are here with Tim. That's me. You already knew that. I don't know why I even say that. And
the spectral embodiment of Joseph Stalin.
oh,
I
don't even know how to respond to that, dude.
no, it's me, Brett.
Oh,
Oh my God! He thought it was totally the ghostly embodiment.
I
of
thought it
Joseph
was
Stalin.
the ghost
Oh my
of
God.
Joseph Stalin. I was like, how can I make Joseph Stalin positive? Oh, he did have a fantastic mustache.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
Oh, actually, if you haven't seen pictures of him when he was young, quite the handsome man. Like,
was he?
Like model.
Oh, really?
Lindsay showed me a picture of him. Like, who do you think this is? I'm like,
So you and Lindsay have like pictures of Joseph Stalin like framed all over the place.
Yeah. I regularly beat off to them.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't.
I know exactly.
I don't even know where to go with this.
No, we totally won't. Anyway, look up a picture of young Joseph Stalin. He I don't know. He looks so dreamy.
Yeah, I mean, I just know like Geraldo Rivera wishes his mustache were as good as Joseph Stalin's.
Probably.
That's the only good thing I know to say about Stalin. And apparently he was handsome, I guess.
Yeah. And that you can make the joke about like, hey, quit Stalin.
Hey! Well, there's like Broseph Stalin.
Broseph Stalin?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
No, you just use the word bro.
Oh, it's like Stalin, but
Like,
he's
what's up,
holding
bro,
a Four Loko and a V-neck cut. Like,
No, just literally just using the word bro and then putting it into something. It would work with anyone whose first name is Joseph. That's
yeah.
just the only one I can think of besides Joseph from the Bible.
Well, I just got I just got a picture of Broseph Stalin. It's just like him with a popped collar, V-neck,
Oh, okay.
holding like a Four Loko with the Ray Bans and like the
Or like
spiky hair.
white rimmed
Yeah.
sunglasses.
Or like those.
Maybe he's got some leather wrist cuffs.
Or those like EDM glasses, that
Ooh,
have
yeah.
just like the slits in them that aren't even glasses.
Dude, I wish JB was here because he could probably do like a Broseph Stalin voice. But that would just be like a Russian accent, right?
A Russian accent, but talking about bro shit.
Hello, Brett. My name is Broseph Stalin. It's not good. It's not good.
Hello, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you like?
That's how I talk to Paige. I
Yeah.
always talk to her in a Russian accent. I'm not really sure why.
Oh.
Or like an Eastern Bloc.
Because you have early onset dementia.
Probably. I don't know. I just talk to my dog in a Eastern European accent. I have no fucking clue.
I do the same.
Anyways, welcome back to Project Reclamation. We are proud members of the Podbelly Podcast Network, the best podcast network in all the land. Go check it out, podbelly.com. Go check out all of the wonderful podcasts there. If you like Star Wars, there's all things Star Wars. If you like learning about new podcasts, there's podcasts we listen to with Jeremy. You can go check out the episode where Jeremy interviewed Steve and I, or Hillbilly Horror Stories. If you like ghost stories, ooh, creepy. Jerry and his wife are amazing and awesome. And they somehow have a horror story, ghost story podcast, but yet they still pay homage and draw attention to mental health and how people need help with that and how it's okay to get help with that. And I think that's super cool. Love those people. Jerry, you guys are amazing. Go listen to Art and Jacob Do America. Go listen to We're Not Sure Yet. Go listen to Sofa King. Go listen to all of them. Go check them out. There's got to be something you like there.
You're probably going to have to pause it because I have to take a shit.
All right. Well,
You need to leave that in there.
I will.
And you should edit a flush sound when we come back.
I'm gonna do like a white noise to some on hold music via or like what elevator music, and then when you come back, I'll do another white noise and then a flush sound, and then we'll come right back.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
You should leave all that in.
Oh, I'm going to.
Or you're just recording that whole time of dead silence.
Yeah. Because if I stop and start again, then I have multiple files. If I just leave it going, then I can just erase that whole.
There you go.
I did what's going to be easiest for me because I'm a selfish asshole.
There you go.
But if I didn't,
It's your hard drive says. You can do what you want with
whatever,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and had I done it a different way, it doesn't affect anyone else. So since I'm the only one it does affect, yeah, I just choose whatever's easiest for Tim.
So back to our topic on why.
I don't think we even talked about. We didn't. Even
I was
bring
just
up
going
the
to go on a
topic yet.
tangent about something.
Go for it.
It was going to be about like reptilians or.
Ooh,
But now you've ruined it.
lizard people. There's lizard people everywhere.
Yeah. There are.
I love talking about lizard people,
It's fun.
and I feel like there is a group of people who believe that certain people are actual reptilians. I just like the term lizard people to talk about super elite.
The Queen of England.
Yeah, the Queen of England, Hillary Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton,
Lizards.
most politicians, a lot of celebrities. Just super elite fucking dickheads.
Hillary
that
Clinton
live-
doesn't sweat.
Well-
Neither do lizards.
Well, that's an interesting
I know.
one too.
Yeah, I know. But back to the topic at hand.
What was our topic?
Pretty sure it was the micro and the macro, seeing the small stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Think small.
Think small. That's the thing.
And what we mean by that is be simple-minded.
Yeah.
No, the point is, I think so much of the time we're almost coerced by mainstream media, et cetera,
Facebook.
Social media, people to worry about and focus on just these giant macro things that we have no fucking control about whatever. When I think what matters the most is if you want to make a difference, I think you have to start. It kind of goes back to the whole like General McRaven thing, or Admiral. I'm sorry, sir, Admiral McRaven. You're not in the army. What has generals? The Army? The
Army
Marines?
and Marines, I think.
Navy's admirals?
Yes.
I'm fucking stupid. Yes.
Yeah.
Admiral McRaven.
Was he a rear admiral?
I don't even know what that. Like I've heard. No,
I don't know.
the
I've
term,
heard.
I don't know what it
don't
means.
I just thought it was always funny.
Yeah. Well, it's like every time I see sometimes I'm just 10 years old. Every time I see a sign that says parking in the rear or parking in the back, it's kind of like a fart joke, dick joke, whatever. Anyways, it kind of goes back to that whole like Admiral McRaven speech about if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Focus on the little things. So, I mean, that's what we want to talk about today. Like, what's the topic? Pick an issue, Brett.
Any issue?
Sure. An issue that's macro that you could waste a bunch of time worrying about when the first thing you could do. I mean,
Gee,
just, for
what's
instance, like
it's so hard. What's popular right now?
I don't know. Pick one.
There's this thing. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the coronavirus. It hasn't been talked about that much though.
Oh, I don't know if like the beer.
Yeah, the beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The pandy.
The pandy?
Yeah. So
Sounds like some sort of half-assed hand job that
I
you
know
got in high
it's-
school.
but
I got
it's
a
just
pandy.
it's one of my favorite terms. I can't take credit for it. I stole it from Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. They use it on their podcast, Bad
pandy?
Friends. They just call it the pandy. Funny side story. I was talking to one of the girls that works for me, and I in conversation, I used the term pandy, and she kind of looked at me weird, but didn't say anything. So the conversation carried on. Then I used it again. She goes, "Oh, you said pandy." I'm like, "Well, yeah. What did you think I said?" She's like, I was like, "Yeah, pandy, like, pandemic." And she goes, "Oh my God, I thought you were saying panty."
Ugh.
And I was like, definitely not. And I'm not even sure how that would work in this in context. I'm not. So I'm trying to think back, like, what was the sentence I used it in? Like, and she's like, no. I was just confused. She goes, "I didn't know what you were trying to say." And I was like, no. So yeah, the pandy. I just think, I don't know. It's a funny, playful way of referring to the pandemic. Okay. So what about it? What about CV?
I don't know. You asked me to give you a topic.
Oh, okay. Okay. So obviously it's a huge deal. So you could, okay. So this is a good one. No, this is a really good one. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So you could lose a bunch of sleep over, the fucking coronavirus. We're all going to die. If Bill Gates doesn't give us a vaccine soon, we're all going to die.
We're all going to die.
But you have no control over a vaccine or a cure or anything else. But what we do know is that it affects people differently based on, strengths of immune system and stuff. So what you could do is, first, focus on maybe not going to events and stuff. And I think so here, I'm a little torn here because I want to say, be safe, just stay at home. No, you got to live your life. But then also,
You can
we
still
know
live your life 100%.
safe. But be smart, especially if you come into contact regularly with people who are at risk. Like if you have older parents that you see regularly or that you live with, obviously maybe you should be a little bit more careful. But at the, we also know that the effects of it have a lot to do with people's immune systems. And this is something that Joe Rogan talks about a lot, but most people don't. And especially the scientific community, or at least the ones that the mainstream media wants us to listen to, they don't talk about this. But like, there's things you can do to help your own immune system. There's vitamins and supplements you take. Like, take a lot of vitamin C, take a lot of vitamin D. Zinc apparently is also important. I take elderberry. I don't know if that's important, but I heard it's good for your immune system.
You wicked piece of shit.
Dude,
your
Brett,
herbs.
You're no better than me. You and I both take a giant handful of vitamins every morning.
Huh? No.
Yes.
No, you're doing some elderberry and some, I bet you.
Well, here's the funny thing. I was doing some research.
Skunk weed, I don't know.
I think elderberry is just a good source of vitamin C. So I'm probably just doubling up on my, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, taking those things and all of your supplements first and foremost should come from food, but you should also, that's why they're called supplements, because they supplement.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But then also like, and by the way, vitamin D, it's good to take it because most of us are slightly deficient. However, the sun also gives you vitamin D. So it's also good to get outside of your freaking house. And, it's also good to go to eat healthy, to go work out. These are all things that improve your immune system. And the better your immune system is, the better you're going to fare if you were to catch it. So one example of micro versus macro, think small versus think big, is you could sit around and freak yourself out and worry about the coronavirus, but you're not going to create the vaccine. I mean, maybe you are if you're listening and you're working on a vaccine or a cure. Awesome. More power to you.
Hit us up. Come on the podcast.
Yeah. Send me an email. projectxreclamation@gmail.com.
Try and convince me why it won't give me autism.
Oh, well,
what? What are we talking about?
I was going to say email me and I want to have you on so I can give you some credit, but that's okay. Okay. Brett just went all anti-vaxxer on us. Whatever you say, Jenny McCarthy. No. What I'm saying is most of us probably.
Who's the chick who has her web goop with the vagina jade eggs?
Oh, dude. The chick.
She's probably an anti-vaxxer.
Pepper. From she plays Iron Man's wife or whatever.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, there's the one.
So if that's dude, tangent, here we come. So yeah, she has this company Goop. It's super weird. I
don't
even know what to say about it.
Anything that has to do with like your vagina.
It's like empowering women, which I'm all for, but she goes
the marketing, like calling it Goop. I wouldn't like the word Goop is not a positive word for anything.
Do you know how it's spelled? I don't even know how it's spelled.
I don't know. I just know.
So one of my favorite podcasts, and this is if you want just to be distracted and entertained, and you don't necessarily want to learn anything, because there's a lot of podcasts to listen to where you learn shit. This is not one of them. But I'm a huge Anthony Jeselnik fan. He's one of my favorite comedians. He has like the driest, most dickhead asshole sense of humor. He's fantastic. I love him. Anyways, him and his best friend, Greg Rosenthal, I think that's his name. They have a podcast called the Jeselnik Rosenthal Vanity Project. And you probably won't learn anything, but you'll be seriously entertained. Anyways, Rosenthal was talking about how there is a actual Goop store near his house.
Oh wait, there's an actual brick and
mortar?
A
brick and mortar store.
Wow.
And he goes, sometimes I just think that like it kind of disgusts me that I live in a neighborhood where a Goop store can maintain business and stay open.
Do they let you try out the jade eggs before you buy them?
I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, so she has, so if you've read any of the articles, yes, she has, they came up with a candle that was titled something along the lines of "This is how my vagina smells." Apparently, the most recent thing they did was they came out with another candle titled "This is how my orgasm smells." So I guess she was doing, I'm guessing it was a Zoom interview with Jimmy Fallon, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, and telling him about this candle, but her like 14-year-old son was in the room sitting next to her while she was talking about a candle titled "This is how my orgasm smells."
I hope she lit it so he could smell it.
And then he was like, "No, Mom. That's more like Dad's." Anyways, or there's no good answer to that one. Like,
no.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Why do you know that? Anyways, gross. She's a weirdo. I don't know what to say about that.
Whatever floats your boat,
to
man.
each their own. It is what it is. Where was I going with this?
We're talking about the coronavirus.
I got completely derailed, dude.
Yeah. You should have like a train, like every time.
We're talking about immunity.
Every derail. All right.
Oh, dude, I need a sound effect.
Phone in. Yeah, I was gonna say, phone in. Email us. Should we have a sound effect for every time that our conversation goes off the rails? And just be like, boom, just like up. Is that? Do you hear that? Is that a train whistle?
Choo choo.
Oh, we're going off the rails.
That's a great idea. Tell us what you think. projectxreclamation@gmail.com. So we're talking about so coronavirus. Yeah, it's one of these crazy things that we have no control over for the most part from a macro point of view. So focus on the micro stuff. Mm-hmm. Take care of the people you love. First and foremost, take care of yourself, and just know that. I know a handful of people who've gotten it. Every single one of them, a few days, minimal symptoms, but they're healthy people, so they take care of themselves. So take care of yourself, and if you come into contact with people who are more at risk on a regular basis, then take some extra precautions. Just be smart, care about people, And, you know, if you hate wearing a mask, I'm sorry. I do too. I do it to go into places I need to do and, you know, whatever. I bring it with me. So if I'm in the elevator with somebody, I'll put it on just to be. Although I swear 90% of the time I've gotten in an elevator and they have their mask either on one ear or like in their hand and they're about to put it on and then I'm about to put mine on. And 90% of the time they've been like, I don't care if you don't care. I'm like, I don't care.
Suddenly,
okay, cool.
Suddenly everyone's doing their like best Nelly impression with a mask where they just have a Band-Aid under their eye, but instead of that, it's just hanging off your ear.
But it's just funny because I feel like 90% of the time I've had that situation where like I was about to put on my mask. They're like, well, I don't care if you don't care. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good.
And then you just start making out.
I'm good. Yeah. And then we start making out.
Yeah.
And then we just started licking surfaces on the elevator
Yeah.
just in case there was some like residue of
Snozberries
coronavirus.
taste like snozberries.
Oh yeah. The snozberries taste like
snozberries. Yeah. His snozberries tasted like snozberries.
So like, or like, oh my God, the earth is going to shit. We need to save the earth. So why don't you start by recycling that one bottle you have?
Yeah.
Or start by
Pick up some trash.
You know, or people are so mean. Go be nice to one person, or go take a day or a week, or I don't know, forever, and just be nice to everyone you come into contact with. Like
Try to be less of an asshole.
Yeah. And come on,
And that's coming from two assholes.
Actually, we're both assholes. Yes, we're both assholes. But I like giving people positive interactions. I mean, dude. Okay, I was at the grocery store today. I'm waiting in line. One of these socially distanced lines that looks like it's 1,000 feet long, when really there's just 4 people in line.
Yeah.
And this woman's like, "Is your tattoo a crab?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it's a phoenix." And so I showed it to her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Are you in the military?" I was like, "Nope." She's
Was
like,
this
"Well,
an
tell me this."
elderly lady?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know why I was giving. She wasn't that elderly. I don't know why I was giving her that voice. That was just the voice that came out of my mouth.
Well, this is my own assholeness coming. I was just like, oh, if it was like an 18-year-old, I would have just been like, "Are you blind?"
No, I mean she had gray hair. I don't know if she was 50.
She was just being nice.
I don't know if she was 57 or if she was 75.
Yeah.
But she was being sweet. She was curious.
Yeah.
She wanted to have a conversation. I did not. I wanted to check out and get the fuck out. And I'm an asshole, like I just admitted, and I've admitted a million times. But I gave her the conversation she wanted because it didn't
cost
me anything. So I showed her my tattoo. I explained her the story. I was like, "Oh, well, you know, like a few years ago, I got fired from my job. My life was kind of in ruins a little bit, but I used the opportunity to end up getting a better job and lose a bunch of weight." And I didn't tell her about the podcast, but you know, that's what spurred the pod. Like all these good things happened from something that kind of sucked. So I kind of told her the story. I was like, "Well, you know, I had some period of my life where shit kind of sucked." And so it's a whole
Listen to this podcast. You're probably in our demographic.
Yeah. So rising from the, you know what? I probably should. I don't do.
God
I
damn
don't.
it, Tim.
I don't take the opportunities to
market.
push my own fucking podcast. Anyways, so we talked about that, and then she's like, "Are you in the military?" I was like, "No, I don't know why. I don't know where that question came from." So, mind you, I'm wearing scrubs at the time because I was coming home from work and I'm in medical sales, so I wear scrubs because that's what we do, and they are comfortable, and it's like wearing pajamas that people respect you in. But so I'm wearing scrubs, so that somehow fucking coronavirus comes up, and she's like, "Well, I don't know if you know anything about medical stuff," and I'm just thinking like, "Lady, I'm wearing scrubs. Like, you should like when I go to get on my flight, if I'm wearing scrubs, like they give me priority boarding."
Oh yeah, they're doing that now.
My boss got like a free upgrade on her car rental because she was
wearing
they called her a
scrubs.
frontline worker. Yeah. So like most people just like if you're wearing scrubs, they assume, and as they should, like that you're in the medical industry. And I usually correct people. I don't. If like they offered me priority boarding on Southwest, I was like, no, I just sell drugs to people who do good shit. I don't actually do anything good.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no, that's good too. And so then I was honest, and they still wanted to give me the priority boarding, so I took it. But yeah, so I was wearing scrubs, and she's like, I don't know if you know anything about.
He's a phony. That guy's a
She
phony.
goes, I don't know if you know anything about the medical industry, but I've done some research and I Googled blah, 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 blah. So she's telling me about the virus. But so here's the thing,
I saw
people.
on WebMD.
Here's the thing, people. It was a ridiculous conversation,
Yeah.
but she was a sweet lady, and she just obviously wanted to talk to somebody, and so I talked to her. I gave her a conversation all the way up until when I checked out, and then I told her, I said, "Hey, like I gotta run, but it was so nice talking to you. What's your name?" Her name was Lisa. I told her my name, and she's a sweetheart. And so hopefully I helped make her day a little bit better, because
My mom didn't tell me she was in town.
it
She
was your
didn't
mom,
call me.
actually. Yeah. Sorry, dude. I forgot to tell you. She says hi, by the way. Anyways, so
Classic Lisa. No.
there's so many things you can do that will make the world a better place. And I feel like half the time we don't do them because you're sitting around worrying about some shit that you can't change, that
Yeah.
you don't actually do something you could do to make a change.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. People being mean, all the people disagreeing, people, all this big device, divide in our society.
Divisiveness.
Well, divisiveness that's dividing our society. If we just talked more, I don't know, things might get better. But it starts with you and the person down the street, or the person that you walk by, or the person that's checking you out at the grocery store, or whatever. Like, or, you know, if we're trying to all not die from a virus, it starts with you making yourself healthier.
Yeah. But the thing, the whole, like, I jokingly say I'm an asshole, but I'm people tell me I'm a nice guy. At least my girlfriend thinks I'm a nice guy. No, my thing was
She's a robot. She was programmed to say that.
damn it.
Sorry, dude. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is the Truman Show.
Oh, The Matrix?
Westworld?
Other sci-fi things about the differences in reality and not it being a thing?
I don't know.
I lost it. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure we are in.
my thing was always like, for me, like it takes a lot to like piss me off and actually like write you off as a person. Because I don't know, I'm just like, if I don't like you, then my thing is like, if I make fun of you, that means I like you. It's like that whole classic thing. If I don't like talking to you or say anything, like having conversations, means I don't like you. But my go-to is always like, life's too short to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So, or life's too short to be a dick. Sorry. So I remember I used that in my job interview for where I work right now. They asked me, it's like, oh, so what's your thing? Like, you know, how do you work with other people? I was like, oh, it's like, I kind of live by, I was like, life's too short to be a dick, so I try and be nice. And I was like, I told this to like, let's the other people, like, use that language in your interview. I'm like, yeah, I did. You know
Fair
what?
enough.
You know what? I got the fucking job.
Fair enough.
I was fired later from the preschool because apparently that language is inappropriate.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. But I lost it. But anyway,
Choo-choo.
choo. Yeah. And I always says like the world would be like, if everyone was just a little bit nicer to each other. Hold the door open for somebody. Say hello. Smile at somebody. Ask how their day went. How's your day going? Those little things, if we all just did that one little thing, the world would be a better place.
Yeah. Or like, oh my God, there's Trash Island in the ocean. Well, okay. I'm not going to be able to fix it by myself. Brett's not going to be able. I'm sure there's some of you out there that have some sort of degree where you may be the one who comes up with the machine. So I'm not saying nobody can fix it by themselves. However,
Kid from, I want to say that's somewhere in the Netherlands or some other
was that the
thing.
kid who invented like the nuclear battery or whatever that could possibly save the world?
I think he's somewhere in Europe. I forget where, but it's basically like a trash robot type thing. He was on Joe Rogan.
Well, and interestingly enough, apparently Trash Island has actually shrunk because some sort of enzymes have evolved to eat the plastic. Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? Don't get me wrong. I think that we should always take care of Mother Nature, but I will also say Mother Nature can rear her ugly head and remind us on a regular basis that she can take care of herself. Now, I'm still not saying we shouldn't take care of her, but she takes care of her shit. That if we become too big of a problem, she will eradicate all of us. But what I'm saying is, you can't necessarily fix the problem of waste and stuff. But what you can do is take care of your own shit.
Exactly.
Start a compost thing. Do that. Recycle a little bit. And I'm
Open up an art from scrap.
Sure. Yeah. So we could all, or like you have all these Amazon boxes, you could recycle them. Sure. You could throw them away. That's probably the worst thing you could do. Recycle them. Or you could kind of, maybe if you order from Amazon every day, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't save all of them probably, but you could save your Amazon boxes because guess what? They come in handy when you need to ship something somewhere.
Yeah.
And you could reuse them. Anyways, all I'm saying.
They're also cardboard. I'm pretty sure you can compost cardboard.
No, for sure you can.
Yeah.
and we come up with a million other examples, but and this kind of I feel like it falls in line with the whole like serenity prayer, focus on the things you can change, accept the things you can't, have the wisdom to know the difference. So it kind of goes into that, but the whole like think small, and we're still because we definitely aren't recording this directly after we recorded the last episode, but we're still in voting season. So y'all are about to vote. I think the same thing applies. Like you could worry all you want about, the presidential election is going to change my life. Most likely it won't. Yeah. Every time there's a presidential election, there's a bunch of people who think the world's going to end. A bunch of people think the world's going to be saved. And guess what? Neither one fucking happens, and everyone's fine. But what makes the biggest difference? The biggest thing that affects you is the local elections. What happens in your own city? What happens in your own state? So again, the same thing applies. Focus small, think small, and focus on the stuff right around you. Because if we all did that, then the world would be a better place in like 2 fucking weeks.
And doing the small things first helps the bigger things get solved later.
Well, I feel like it's a better perspective because it's like when you think big, it's like we'll stick with elections. Like, Republican, Democrat, war, taxes, Roe versus Wade. Really? Oh, whatever. But like when you think about local, it's like, are we going to pay that hotel tax to build this thing? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? What are we going to do with the homeless
San Diego
people?
Example.
Exactly. San Diego example. So that has the most effect. And if everyone cared more about their own little city more than they cared about who the president is, then we would all be probably a little bit better informed, and every little city would get better. In turn, the country and probably the world would become better in a very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I feel like we've already burned this topic out.
It's possible.
Think small.
Think small, but doesn't mean you can't think big either. Let's just contradict the whole thing.
It's like start small.
I feel like it's more of a thing of think small. It's like thinking small doesn't mean you can't think about big things.
No.
But also, you have to understand that being one person, no one big thing is ever solved by one person. Here's
very rarely. No, you're right. Probably never.
I would say never.
Even if you
close
think
to
about
never.
Like,
there's the head. There's the person that we hold up on that pedestal. Be like, this person did this, and then like, but we don't talk about. No one talks about the people behind that person.
100%. I was just gonna say.
So like oh yes, he obviously came up with this. I'm like, well, I mean, like, you could probably what is it? Math, just like
pick someone, dude.
Math and science stuff. But I mean, there are some people, but I would say most of the time, it's never just one person that came up with the idea. Think like
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
But Oppenheimer,
he wasn't the only fucking scientist on the thing.
No, there was like, well, even on the original plans, there was like at least 12 other, probably German scientists that we stole from Germany.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I mean, you look at, well, Einstein's a bad example because he was just an asshole that stole everyone's ideas.
No, you're not thinking.
Not Einstein, I'm sorry.
You're fucking Edison.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I got my E's confused.
Yeah.
But Einstein even, like, he came up with a bunch of theories, but it took people putting his theories into practice. Well, I mean, he's the one who came up with the idea for the nuclear bomb, in theory.
I think he helped. I'm not sure if it exists. I don't remember. I'm not a scientist.
I don't know either.
Anyway.
But what I'm saying is, even, like, maybe he came up with a theory of relativity, but it still took other people to figure out what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's other people, like movements. Like,
yeah.
Or like presidents, doesn't matter.
Pick a president that you give credit to anything to. Like Lincoln gets a lot of credit for a lot of stuff, and I'm sure he was a great guy, but he also had a ton of people around him that made that shit happen, probably helped him see clearly, yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm gonna recant my thing and saying never. Very often than not is one large problem ever solved by one person. It's usually a team of people who actually come together, and whoever they consider to be the front person or the person who they might have contributed the most.
Yeah.
So getting that credit, which I'm not going to disagree that they don't deserve, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it wasn't this one person who solved it. It was this group of this affiliation of people that did it.
Or even think about, like, I don't know much about physics, but it comes down to like some of the biggest like breakthroughs in science have come from like, you know, physicists, but you have theoretical physicists that come up with the theory or the idea, and then you have, what is it, practical? What is the other one called?
What? Theoretical physics?
There's theoretical physics, and then there's the other one that's like practical, like putting it into practice.
Theoretical.
God, I feel so dumb right now.
And
You know what I'm talking about, though,
No, I
right?
know what you're
There's
talking about.
another one.
yeah.
Watch The Big Bang Theory.
People will come up with ideas, but then people who actually
Right,
take
and
those
then
ideas and try them out and see
take
if they
those ideas,
work
try them out, and then you have the engineers that have to build
Yeah.
the shit or
To-
put whatever the
to
shit.
do the test. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you know, like think about building a house. Like you have the architect. He designs. He draws the picture of what the house is supposed to be like. But then you have all the contractors who have to put it. You know, actually build it.
Yeah.
So
And then you
yeah.
have the engineers to double check the architect's shit, because if we, when I my small stint in like architectural school classes before I decided to go graphic design, my teacher says like, yeah, there's a reason why architects do the design, but engineers kind of look it over and finalize it, because if we let architects design everything,
everything would fall.
everything
apart.
would fall apart. But if
100%.
on the flip side, if we let engineers build everything, everything would just be a fucking just cube and have look everything would look the same.
Yeah, everything would look everything would look like a doghouse.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Or it'd be like one of those neighborhoods where when they do like the aerial view,
yeah,
it's
and
like
it's all
a whole
the same.
street, and
yeah.
every single house, every single front yard looks exactly the same. And there are neighborhoods like that.
yeah.
But bottom line is, yeah, don't just think small, but always make sure you are thinking small in
Yeah.
addition to whatever else you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I think voting is perfect. Like,
The
I'm
small
not saying
stuff-
you shouldn't vote for the president, vote for the president, vote for the senator, vote for this,
Yeah.
but also do your research and definitely don't take for granted all the local stuff, because that's the stuff that's going to affect your life the most.
Yeah. The small stuff you can feasibly take care of, and with you or even a small group. The larger stuff you can help contribute to,
Yeah.
but it's not the problem getting solved does not rest on your shoulders.
No,
it is not like
again, you can't stress about it.
Yeah.
You can't fix it. But back to like, you know, if we were to make every city a little bit better, the country would automatically be better, because every little city would be better. So every state would be a little bit better, and then the country would be better. It goes back to, and I think a lot of it goes back to like, you know, we're talking about goals. Like if you have a big goal, like I want to lose 100 pounds, I want to make $1 million, I want to do this. You have to actually get there. You have to break that goal into small parts.
yeah.
And then figure out what your action
There's
plan
certain
is
steps you have to
to
take to
lose
be
the
able to
first
get there.
10 pounds,
Yeah.
or to make the first $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 or even 100,000, whatever it is. So yeah, it all goes into, you know, don't forget to think small. So that being said, Brett, what is so you just moved to a new place?
Yes.
You built some shelves.
I've actually been having issues thinking small lately. Since
Okay.
we're on this topic
Tell me about it.
From the moving in. So moved into a new spot. We've been there for a little over a month now. We're still kind of like moving shit around because, you know, we finally got a couch. So these are two people coming together where I had one room of shit. So I basically just used my bed as furniture. And Lindsay,
Fair
she
enough.
had kind of like a studio apartment thing going on, but the couch she had wasn't the greatest. It was like a hand-me-down from something else. And I'll be honest, I hated it. It was not comfortable. And so she got rid of a lot of stuff. I got rid of some stuff. So since we're coming together, it's like we realize we have a bunch of random shit from travels and other things that don't necessarily have any like functionality.
Yeah.
So like, we need a couch. I'm like, where the fuck are we gonna put all this shit? I'm like, we have like 2 or 3 shelves. Like, we need more shelves. I'm like, I can build those. So we've been trying to build them, and it's gonna look great. But also, we're in the midst of like doing all basically the prep work to get everything put together, to get them installed. So I'm basically doing like floating black pipe shelves. So basically, you just take black pipe, attach it to the wall, put wood on top. Sounds easy, right? But when you're dealing with like a shit ton of it, there's like, it feels like you're not making any traction.
Yeah.
And you know, the house has gotten better. We have a couch, we have other stuff, and we've moved things around. But it got to the point where a lot of the stuff I couldn't feasibly put away because there was nowhere to put it. I'm like, all my tchotchkes and other random shit that I had adorned in my room, I'm like, I have no place to put these, so we still just have boxes sitting around there. So
And you have a lot of tchotchkes, too.
I do have a lot of tchotchkes. And she does too. And so we just got it to the point to where we could, but then we realized like once we get this done, as we move on, it's like it'll look a lot better. We'll get there. But it's definitely had some issues, seeing the forest from the trees and like taking in the whole house at once instead of just concentrating. Okay, we're going to do this one thing here. Once we get that one thing done, then we can do this, then we can do that, versus just like, it's so easy to get into the realm of here is the problem. This is the solution and it's done. But in reality, that solution has so many moving parts to it that need to get figured out before you can actually do it.
Let's figure out where to put all the shit in this one box. And then we move on to the next box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to break it down.
Yeah.
If you want to change the world, start by making your bed.
Exactly.
I'm going to leave you guys with that thought. What is something you can recommend to people if they're still in lockdown, or maybe their city's going back into a lockdown?
Mm-hmm.
What's something you can recommend to people to do to distract themselves, keep themselves busy, keep themselves happy, keep themselves positive, motivated?
Burn down City Hall. No, don't do
that's a
that.
great-
That's a terrible idea.
great
No,
recommendation,
that's a
Brett.
joke. I was being facetious, or
Facetious-ish?
however you say that
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
Let's see. If you have hobbies that you'd like to get better at,
Yeah.
things you can do, whether it be drawing. For example, I've gotten Lindsay into gardening. She was not into gardening beforehand, but I brought my plants over, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. And she totally got sucked in.
It's
She's
a good
got
one,
it.
dude. My mom is. I got like a seed variety pack.
Yeah.
Like 2 months ago, and one of the seeds in there was corn. I was like, well, there's no way I can grow corn at my place. I have a condo with a balcony. But my mom,
If you were able to logistically do that, it would look so hilarious.
yeah, that'd be weird. So I gave my mom these corn seeds like 2 months ago. I went back. I visited my parents like 2 weeks ago, and they have legit like taller than me fucking corn stalks all over their side yard and all over their front yard. Nice. And I'm like, were those seeds? She's like, yeah. So my mom's killing it with gardening.
Nice.
I was doing okay for a little while, and then I got kind of busy again, and almost everything I owned died. My jalapeno plant's still alive. My tomato plant's almost alive. My basil's still alive. My rosemary's still alive.
Yeah.
That's it, though.
Yeah.
Everything
So she
else
picked up
died.
gardening. If there's something you've been putting on the back burner that you personally wanted to do, but you were too busy to do because either A, you were having to go to work every day and travel, and now you have that extra time working from home and you don't have to commute, maybe spend the time doing that thing you wanted to try.
Yeah. If you want to learn how to play an instrument,
Yeah.
or if you're like me and you've known how to rudimentarily play an instrument like the guitar for most of your life, but you still suck at it because you never practiced, maybe you could do that, or learn a new skill. You know what? YouTube University is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And that goes like if you're unfortunate enough to not have a job right now, which I think both of you are me and you are very lucky to still be employed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you don't have that, you could still find that thing that you've always wanted to do and try doing it. Like,
or if you were going to get a new job, or you have a job and like maybe you want to improve your Excel skills, like you can learn more Excel skills on YouTube. Like, dude, just use YouTube.
exactly.
There's a bunch of stuff you can do. And then I think that's also important to find distractions.
Yeah.
So find a good TV show, find a good book, read a book,
Yeah. Read some books.
listen to a book if you don't like reading.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
Listen to a new podcast.
Listen to us ramble about things.
Listen to us rabble about things. Go to podbelly.com and find a new podcast there. And I think we forgot to talk about that. I'll have to put this in the beginning. But also go, you know what? If you need a distraction, go to the store or go on Amazon and buy some El Yucateco hot sauce and put that on the new food you learned how to cook.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh, that's
Amazing.
another good one. If you're not a great cook, try a recipe. Learn something.
Guess what?
Cooking is a skill that everybody should know, in my honest
And it's
opinion.
not that hard to
not.
learn.
It's not.
Like, be willing to experiment with some new spices, some new flavors, and also be willing to fail. I think that goes for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, if Brett and I are both pretty damn good cooks. If Brett and I can cook, you can fucking cook.
Mm-hmm.
We're nothing special. I mean, Daryl Park, he's something special. He's an amazing cook. Good friend of ours.
Well, he's a chef.
Well, I'm sorry. He's a chef and he can cook.
Dare
and he
you,
can
you
chef.
son of a bitch. You called him a cook.
No, I'm sorry.
He's going to bust through that door right now with his 9-inch chef knife and stab you to death.
Probably. I deserve it.
I probably
I do.
Yeah.
No, he wears the big hat. He's a chef. By the way, the best chef ever was that chef on the Muppets.
Oh, the Swedish chef?
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
There's just like flour everywhere. Anyways, so learn new shit, distract yourself, find a balance, think small. Don't not think big, but don't forget to think small.
Yeah.
Because that's where it starts. That's where everything starts.
Exactly.
And also that'll keep you sane because you what do you accomplish by sitting around all day stressing out about shit you can't change? You accomplish nothing.
Actually, no, you accomplish something. You accomplish yourself feeling like shit.
Well, yeah,
and
yeah,
being
yeah.
stressed out. That's what you accomplish.
Yeah. So folk, back to whatever, the serenity prayer minus the prayer part, focus on things you can change. Try not to worry too much about the things you can't change, or do the things you can change that may affect the things you can't change. Oh my God. And then have the wisdom to know the difference. So that's what we're going to leave you with. Thank you all for listening. This is Brett and Tim signing off. Have a great week, and we will talk to you soon. Go check out lucateco.com, shop lucateco.com, podbelly.com. Email us with your thoughts, your suggestions, your questions.
And your dick pics.
Yeah, sure, that too. Send those right to Brett at brett.com. Email us at projectxreclamation@gmail.com. Have a great week, and we will talk to you later.
Later.
Bye.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.